Hello guys, if you are new to web development and you want to learn with someone, this video is definitely for you, as I'll be sharing my programming journey. I'm going to be posting videos every day about what I learned at the program I'm going to be designing, right? So as to also help you, right? So if you are looking for accountability partner and you're looking for somebody to motivate you every day, then you should watch this video. So today I'm going to be introducing JavaScript, all I've learned today, and I'll be sharing it with you. So if you are new into programming, then you should also watch and learn, and also share your idea with me in the comment section so that we can transfer knowledge, right? And if you're a senior developer, I also recommend you watch this, right, so that you can also contribute to this great pool of knowledge so as to help somebody that is passionate about web development so that they can be as better as you. So without further ado, let me get into today's topic, right? Cheers. Hello guys, so welcome to my 100 days coding challenge. So this is day one, and today we're going to be looking at introduction to JavaScript, right? So in this course, in today's lecture, I'm going to be introducing JavaScript. I'm going to be sharing what I've learned so far. So we are going to be looking at introduction of JavaScript, JavaScript backstory, then setting up our JavaScript environment, so printing our first hello world, and two, we're also going to be looking at the basis of JavaScript, what are variables, then like the different types of values, right? We have, then we are going to be looking at fixed and variable values, then also fixed and variables, and also we are going to be looking at types of data, so primitive and reference data, and we'll dive deep into the different data types, and also we will also look at control flow statements. And yeah, so today it's going to be an amazing journey, right? So if you're new to programming, where I would like you to follow me along as I explain some of this concept, and so that you can learn one or two. And if you are good in programming already, you can also share your idea with us so that we can also learn and benefit from your weight of ideas, right? So without further ado, let's get into the introduction of JavaScript, right? So JavaScript was invented in 1995 by a man called Brendan Ike. The name is Brendan Ike. So he's an American scientist, right? So he was one that invented JavaScript in 1996, and he just did that in just 10 days, right? So he did that in 10 days. So you can just Google him and know more about uh, it, right? So that's it about JavaScript. So in 1995, so prior to that time, when like website was, so there was no functionality to website, right? So websites, it was just plain text, right, written in HTML and CSS, so it was very boring. So Nescafe gave Brother Ike that task to develop in JavaScript that would tackle that, a new program that will tackle that. Then the renaissance of JavaScript, that was in 1995. So in 2015, so they made advancement on JavaScript because of the limitations, right? Then EGS6 was introduced in 2015. So EGS6 ES6 EX6 was introduced, right, in 2015. So that was where like new concept like block variable, let and const variables were introduced, right? So basically that's about the introduction about of JavaScript. So you can just Google Brenda Ike and learn more, right? So setting up JavaScript. So if you want to set up JavaScript, all you do is you download this EDI, right? So you go to your Chrome, you download, you search for Visual 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 Studio Code. So VS Code. So you just type VS Code download. So go code download, right? Now now it's going to take you to a site where you can download it, right? So if you have it downloaded, so it's going to look like this, right? So because there's no light, I cannot, yeah, that's why it's not populating, right? So or you can also use Sublime. So you just use same method, right? So Sublime, so you just click download, so you can use that. So so it does it. So let's create, let's print our first hello world, right? So when you open your, so let's start. So when you open your VS Studio Code, it's going to look like this. It's going to look like this, right? So I'll delete this. So it's going to look like this. So like nothing here. Yeah. So now printing our first hello world. Now what you do is, let's delete this. Now you are going to create a folder. Create a folder, new folder. So you name it. So D1 of D1 of 100 code, 100 days, 100 days of code challenge of code. So then you like introduction to JavaScript, to JS. So that's it, right? So this is our folder. Then when you open your Visual Studio Code, so what you are going to do is you click on file, you click on new folder, and it will take you to the directory on your phone, on your PC, right? So here, so this is it, right? This is the file. Click on select, so you allow it to load. So yeah, I have something like this, right? So we are going to create a new file. So I told you that JavaScript was invented to add functionality to a website, right? So there must be HTML file. So what we do is that we create a new file, then we call it index.html, then click enter, then yeah, we save it in that file. Make sure you save there. Then we create another file, our JavaScript file. Our JavaScript file. So you can here, so we call it app.js. So it's as simple as that. Here, then hit enter. So we have the first two files, and here this one, our JavaScript, our HTML file, and our JavaScript file. So the one that with the orange thing, that's the one that I highlighted, right? So we are done creating our files. So make sure that the files are created in the same folder. We'll talk because of hierarchy. Let them have the same hierarchy. I will tell you why that needs to be done like later in the code. So let's print our first hello world. Now there are many ways you can print your first hello world. So the first way is in your HTML code. So let's just import like the conventional HTML boilerplate here. So here, so this is it, right? Then now, so this is how it looks. Now to print our first word, what we are going to do is we can do it either by adding the script tag. So if you want to add JavaScript in your HTML code, use the script tag, right? Then we can alert I am excited about programming. So here, right? So to view it, so now you see, so to view it, right, I'm going to show you like ways to view it. When you click on, you go back to your file, right, that you created, right? When you open it in the browser, you see that it's going to show, hey, I'm excited about programming. So this is our first word, right, that repeated. So it can be anything, it can be hello world, the popular hello world. So basically, I don't know if it's a doctrine, but it's is a coders thing that the first word that they always print is hello world. So let's print hello world. So hello world. So Riches is here. So let's go and open it in the browser. You see, when we refresh, you see here that's showing hello world, right? Okay. So that's how to print your first page. So I'm going to show you like 3 different ways. So that's method 1. So method 2, so we are using the script tag in the head section. So you can use it in the body tag. So here, so it is the body part of. So here is the body part. I can put it here, right? So here. Then let's check our. So here, right? So here. So instead of like going to this place all the time, like going to like your browser all the time to check, to click on it to preview this, what you do is that you click on the extension, right? Then you search for live server. So you spell LEV, then server, right? So my network is kind of bad. Then you install that. So whenever you install live server, when you don't install it, you just right click, right? And you click on open with live server. So whenever it will allow you to preview your HTML document, your files on a go. So you see in the body, like the same thing happened, right? So basically I've shown you 2 ways. So what if you, so like the professional practice of printing stuff on this is putting it in your body tag. Why? Because now whenever a program runs, right? So like computer program are a set of instructions or rules or statements, right, that tells the computer what to do. So since it's steps, now the computer reads that step line by line. So if you put in the head tag, now this hello world is what is going to show first before reading other things in the HTML file, and you don't want that, right? So I always recommend you leave it at the body part, right? So basically that's how to print this thing. So then the other way, so supposing we want to print this thing, but then we don't want it to be in the HTML file, because the one of the goals of a programmer is to solve problem, right? And one of the problem you want to solve is let people get information fast. So you want your website to load fast, right? So you wouldn't put it here. So you create a separate app, which we've created here, called app.js. So all our CSS code, all our JavaScript code, we are going to put it here. So let's say we want to print a different word, right? Aside from hello, this thing here, hello world here, using our JavaScript. What we can do, you can do documents. Don't worry why I'm writing this, but like tomorrow when we are doing that, I'm going to show you why I'm using this method. So document.write, I am excited to have you here. So here, right? So now each statement in JavaScript are separated from another, right, with a semicolon. So just remember, so when you finish a statement, so a statement are a set of instructions, right, that tells the computer what to do. Now you separate it. When you are done with the statement, you put a semicolon, right, in JavaScript for it to work. So let's go and view our HTML. So for it to work in our script, right, you must put the script tag, right? So I told you that you put, so here let's go back to head tag. So you put script tag, so src. So this sr means socks, right? So we close it. So dot, so put app.js, don't close it back. So it's working. Now this is why hierarchy is very important. You remember when I just started typing it, the app.js, now it brought this thing out. It's because like the index.html and app.js are in the same file directory, you understand? That's why it could bring it out. Supposing it was in a different folder, it's not going to bring it out. So let me show you again. See, if I start typing app, you see it just brings it, auto just suggests this. So for simplicity, let it always be in the same hierarchy. Let me further show you. Now if you control plus click on it, it's going to take you to the file directory, right? So like where you're working on. So let's show how it looks on the on our website. So you see, I'm excited to have you here. You see, so that is another way to print something on, to print a JavaScript code on the web. So I've shown you 3 ways now. Also, let me go back and like expand more on like hierarchy. So this is our code, right? And this was the files we created. Now, so let me go back. So you see this 100 days of code. So this 100 days of code here, it's in, so you see is in the desktop, right? Then under desktop, it's inside 100 days, in this folder 100 days of code introduction to JS. Then you have these files, right? So these files here, they have the same hierarchy. All the files here have the same hierarchy because they're in the same folder. So that's what it means. So supposing we move this app.js outside in the desktop, then the app.js have a higher hierarchy than the index.js. So I hope you understand, right? Okay, so that now that we've cleared that on the way, that now you can print your first word. I know how to integrate your JavaScript, right? Let me also show you another way to use JavaScript or to type JavaScript code aside using your EDI, right? IDE rather. So like this Visual Studio or whatever IDE, right? You are using. So IDE means integrated development environment. So I don't know, it's a fancy way of calling this coder app. So here, if you don't want to use it, you can also, like the Chrome V8 engine or all your Chrome have like default like IDEs in it, right? So this is how to access it. So for instance, now let's go back, let's view our files again here. So here, let's open live server. So here I'm excited about it. So when you press right click right and click on inspect, now it's going to bring this thing for you, right? It's going to bring this thing here for you. So these are the code. So look at here, this is what we wrote here. So you can see all that we were waiting. So the elements here, see, I'm excited to have it here. So you can change it with time. So I would love to be accountable for your progress, so don't forget to follow for daily growth. So see, right now, just see this. If you tap this, you can see it in the browser like with time, right? So let me take it out. You can see it in the browser with time. So anything you do, you understand, is going to reflect in here. But this thing is, just know that it's only going to be happening here, right? You can just use it. Now if you go to any website and you press Ctrl, you go to inspect, you can change all the content of your website, but whenever you refresh, all of it is going to go, right? So because it's not saved in the server, so basically that's why. So for instance, let's see now, for let me refresh this page and you see, let's refresh the page, you see, because this was what is in the local server, right? So this is what is there. So here If you refresh it, you see that you see all of it has gone to what we have in our IDE, right? So our Visual Studio Code. So that's another way to use it. But then, and also to combat this limitation, right? There's another way you can do. Now, what if you don't, like me right now? There's no like internet, right? So I'm recording this like offline. Now you can access, and you're not able to download your IDE. So what you can do is that if you open your browser and go to inspect element, now you go to sources, right? Now this is how you access like Chrome this thing. Now you by default will be on page, right? Click on like more, click on this, right? You see this here. Click on more tabs. Then click on snippets. Click on snippets. Okay. Okay, so if you click on snippets, you are going to have something like this, right? So let's maximize it. Let's clean this, right? So let's remove all this. So we remove. So it's going to have, you are going to have like something like this, right? Then you click on new snippet. So you can name it here. So let's call it introduction. So the one, so introduction to JavaScript. Riches, right? So this is it. Then you can type all your codes here. Now, so here you can see so let's x equal to I love you. So I told you that after the end of any statement, you use a semicolon, right, to show that this is the end of it. So let's say console.log x, hit Control Enter. So you see here, I love you, right? Right, see. So you see, I love you. So this is another way to use to write JavaScript code. If you don't have like any ID installed on your phone, on your laptop, you can still have access and write whatever you want. You can program with this and you can save it. The good thing is I can save. So the difference in this one and the elements that if you refresh the page, that is still going to be saved in the memory of the Chrome browser, right? So you can access it anytime, copy the code and use it whenever you want. So that's that. So we are done with first stage. So let's talk about what are variables. So what are variables here? So let's look at variables. So to comment in JavaScript, you use this slash twice. So variables. So variables are data containers, right? Containers that store data. So the data may be strings, maybe numbers, maybe boolean, maybe big int, maybe symbol. So whatever it is, right? So data are data container. So for instance, let's look at it as this. Let's give an instance of a container. Let me show you an image of a container. So okay, this, so this is an image of a container, right? So a container, so this is an image of a container. So this let's call this a variable. So a variable is using storing data, right? So the data may be anything. So a variable so a variable can store, so for instance now this saving box, right? You can if it saves money, you call it piggy vibes, right? That is save money. What if you it's like a vault that you store your document? You now call it, you no longer call it, right, piggyverse, but you call it your vault or your document vault. Now, so the type of data it stores, right, is going to determine the name. You understand? They are going to call the variable. So now that you understand that, right, that variables are data containers or they store data. Let's go back to our dear student. Let me make you understand better. So, for instance, so to declare a variable. Now to declare a variable, we use these three keywords. So we use let, we use var, let, and const. So I'm going to give you like examples, right? I'm going to use examples. So now so to declare a variable, you can declare a variable. You can say var a. You understand? So that's how to declare a variable using the var keyword, then the name of the variable with the comma. So the good practice is you have to declare a variable before you assign it. So when you assign a variable, you use a equals to start equals, so you can say a now. And when you declare a variable, there's no need to declare it now again. So you can say a equal to I can do anything. I put 92, right? So that's it. So let me say console.log a, right? You see, let's go to our console and you see, so let's come in, let's view our website. So let's open live server. So our live server, it's on, right? So good. So let's inspect and see the code which was written. So you see console.log a, see. So I can do, so here I can do anything I put my mind to. So here is supposed to be a can. I wanted to write invincible, but then so we go back and change it. So to change it, just your VS code. So here let's change it. So I can do anything. So let's set it here, refresh. You see here, so I can do anything I put my mind to. So that's it, right? And so I believe you know that you can do anything you put your mind to. So I hope you understand it so far, right? So basically that's what a variable is. They are used to store value. So let's look at so value. So the type of values may be fixed or maybe fixed or a variable. So value types, so I told you now it can be anything, just like can be your when sort of just like when you have a box, and what it depends on what is in it that determines the name you call it. If you put your money inside, call it piggyvest. If you put your maybe your document, your potential, you call it your box, your vault, right? So let's look at this, right? So we have, let's look at types of values. So values can be either fixed or a variable, right? So we have fixed values or variables. So fixed values, so values are basically data, right? So values can either be fixed or variable. So now we have fixed values. So fixed values. So now whenever, if you want to comment something very long, right, you use / and a star, right, in JavaScript. Then you end it where you want the comment to end. You end it here. So that double slash is for just a single line, comment. So here, so let's go down So let's go down so that we just comment all these things, right? So have feast. So feast variables are called literals, right? They are called, so if you hear of literals in programming, so they are called literals. So so example of feast literals, we have strings and numbers. So this example of, so let's do numbers, right? So let's do strings. So strings. So I think I want you guys to just get it like in real time. So let me copy all this and go to like snip. These are snippets too, so that we can be playing on this real time. Okay, so this is it, right? So let's comment this. Let's put this here. So let's look at strings. So strings. So let's comment this again. So strings, right? So like strings are a sequence of zeros and alphabets, right? So now in JavaScript, so those are the type of data types and anything. So for instance, let's say my name my name equal to Riches Onaji. So this is example of string. So you write string in JavaScript ending with semicolon. So you write string with a semicolon, like there must be in quotation mark, right? There must be either single or double quote. So but irregular practice is using double quote, right? Because my system is default on double quote, right? So that's how to write string. So let's console log. So my name. So you see. So my name is Riches Onaji. So that is work. So if you want to know the type of data, so you can say type of my name, right? So to know the type of data, you say that it will give you string, right? So you have strings. So this how to write strings. So you can, let's do more. You can see first name name equals Riches. So semicolon, then last name. Onaji. So here and so that's how to do. So can console log. Let's console log. So last name. So you can see here. So you see, right? Onaji, right? So it's because it's showing these strings because I didn't comment it out. So if I comment it out now, you see that do not show it again. Yes. You see Onaji, right? So that's strings. Then we have strings at the type of, we have either fixed or variable. So the other type of fixed value are numbers. So let's look at numbers. So if you don't understand anything, please you can let me know your numbers. So I'm going to like explain like further to numbers. So numbers are either they can be whole numbers or float numbers. So let's say num equal to 8, right? So this is the number. Okay. So let's say so console.log num you see here or 6. So type of number. So type of, so use type of in JavaScript to know like the type of data type. So we, after this we'll go to data type so you understand better. So here you see that to show you number here, right? So you show number. So now we've done that. So then so a number can be like either integer. So these are like integer whole numbers, right? Or we have float. So basically example of float are, let's say let's pi. I just know how to write pi sha, but let me just say let pi equal to, so basically pi is a constant, right? So let's use const instead of using let. So const pi is equals to 3.1423. No, 2 3, nothing. Okay, it's also, so but we can confirm this. So it's 7. So let's do this thing. So pi is actually, my battery is low. Yeah, I think I'll just continue like the, I'll continue this program like when there's power, right? Because now my system is very, very low. But then this is it, right? So let's say let's do this. So like we're const, so um let console dot log pi. It's fine. So here, so you see, so it give you this. So if we say type of pi, okay, so it's a number, but then this is a kind of float. So the numbers that have like decimal points after it is called like a float number. So now we've done that. So let's look at variables, right? So what, so the next type of data we are going to be looking at are booleans, right? So to do, let's comment boolean. So boolean, so data types. So to understand this, right? So comment this out. So understand this. Let's see. Let's create a variable. Let's see. Let's not a variable. Let's log b equal true. Let's create b equals false. So this is a boolean. So a boolean returns either true or false. So let's console.log console.log log the type of data, right? Lovely. Okay, semicolon. So what is going to give us? So let's have our, let's set up, instead of using the snippet now, right? Let's have our Chrome extension here. So console.log here. But I think VS Code like if it's cleaner. So let's have, because of the contrasting color, so let's have our console here. So let's have our console. So have a console here. Okay. Okay, let's just have this. So let's create our console and go back here and VS Code. So you say let log lead, right, equals true, and so we consider log this. So there's an error here. So log lead. So here let's lead. So you see that it's true, right? So we can find like type of data. So okay, since this is stressful, let's just copy this, right? I just copy it here because I would have preferred we use the IDE, but the IDE is just acting up. So let's just copy this and go to our snippet and use the snippet, right? So paste it here. So good. So if you press Shift Ctrl, that I printed true. Okay. Here, this is a comment. So okay. So here it's going to work now. Then so actually the problem is with the comment, right? So let's have this. Okay, it's working. Okay. So let's console log. Hit leave. Okay, let's put this something. So there's a problem somewhere, but I don't know why. Okay, let's come in and refresh. So it's working here. Alright, I don't know why it's not working over here. Okay, but then that's it. So if we do type of if we do we go back here and we do console log type of this, right? And we look over here, you see that it shows you that is boolean, right? So that's how to write the boolean code. Then the next data type that we are going to be looking at here is big int. So basically, if we google the size of, okay, the distance of the moon, the sun rather, from earth. Now you see, big integers, they are very very long numbers, right? So it's like 149 kilometers. So supposing you have this thing 149 million kilometers, supposing you have it like in centimeters, so it's going to be very very large, right? So in calculator, you have big integers usually have like exponentials, right? Like something raised to power something something something. So maybe you have like, so in calculator this would be 1.4755 exponential million kilometers exponential 5, right? So if you want to write big integer, so let's comment this, right? Let's comment this. So begins, okay, I think let's create a new snippet because this page is acting up, so let's remove it. So I click on remove. So we'll go to sources, new snippet. So call this introduction to JS, right? So here we have to begins. So we are looking at begins, right? So big integers, right? So for example, say let's distance for a to the sun, let represent d as distance equal to bracket. So this is how you write a big integer, right? So this bracket here. So 1414755. So in centimeter. So million, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this million. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we remove 1, 0. So this is big integer. Alright, so this is how you write big integer, comma, then this. So this is it. So let's console the log. Let's confirm. So console the log type of the so it's on the, so it says it's number, but then we know it's number, but then this is actually a big integer, right? So just know that, right? And yeah, so normally if you want to write number, you don't put in bracket, right? So just do it like this. Then when you click on type of field, let's see, so you still give us number. So basically that's big integer. So let's go to the next thing, which is undefined. So like when you create a variable without assigning a value, is called undefined. So here say let my name equals let my name. So you've named the container, right? So the variable name is this. So if we say console.log the log, then my name, the command is going to give us undefined. So you see right, that's giving us undefined. Right, it's giving us undefined. So that's that. So before we go to the primitive reference data type. So under reference data type, we have arrays, we have objects, and we have functions, right? So basically those are the three. I would actually love us to define like variable scope so that we have like a very good understanding so as we progress tomorrow when we start talking about things that a bit advanced, we will understand. So basically variables have three scopes. So basically what is scope? A scope is basically a scope in JavaScript refers to the accessibility of JavaScript. So accessibility of JavaScript and functions from different parts of the code. Now it determines where your program can be used, right? Where a particular variable can be used or function can be used, and it's very essential in organizing or writing a very clean code and maintaining a bug-free code, right? So basically, that's what code is. So basically, where a function can be accessed from is what is referred to as scope. So let's comment this to scope. So scope in JavaScript. So we have three types of scope. We have global scope. So here's scope in JS in JavaScript. So we have three types of scope. So namely one we have global scope. Global scope. Then two we have function scope. And three we have variables. We have block function scope rather. We have function scope. So I'll quickly look at it, then we go into writing a program. So I know it's very interesting. I hope you're understanding so far. So here let's comment this, right? Because we are not trying to write a function. So here we comment this. So here I'll comment ends here. So let's use example of global scope so that you understand, right? So a global scope can be accessed from any part of the of your code, right? So they can be accessed from variables and functions declared outside your block, right? Can be I refer to as global scope. They can be accessed anywhere. So example, right? Let's give example. So let's say let's see my name. Let's see variable my passion equals programming and solving societal problems. So let's say that's my listing, right? So you can see if let's use if block, right? If true that this is my passion, right? If true that if true, so let's give if true, let's give the condition. If my passion is truly this, right? So let's consider log. So please, as a programmer, don't be consider log my passion. my passion. So don't be afraid to make mistake. So I'm not, first off, I just love to teach. So I'm not like a pro programmer yet, but soon I'm going to get there. So I'm just sharing the knowledge I acquired with you. So you should just be watching out. If there are better ways to do things, you can always share with me. I'm open to learn. I love to learn things. So this is it, right? So you can see we declare this thing inside this function here, right? Now inside this block rather. So let's console.log this. So we can call it anywhere, right? My passion, this function anyway. So let's call this variable. So let's say console.log log log my passion. So you see that it will print this and then print this. This is outside the function, but it is going to print this and also print this message, right? So let's print it and you see how it comes. So you see that I printed it too. You see programming, my passion is programming and solving societal problems. So my passion. So the first one, the console log this, right? And the console log this. So basically that is function, that is global scope, then function, then the last one is block scope. You guys not correct me. So here this is block rather, no function. So I say it's tree, right? So you have function, right? So here block. So let's use the same example to do block code. So now I told you that block code can be, so basically block code is only accessed within a block of function, right? So for instance, let me show you something. Now this is a function, this variable here, right? So supposing we see our condition, right, is true, you understand? Let's just fix, we are still going to use this example. So let's say we'll get into this, right, so that you understand this if statement. So when we start control statements, maybe later in this course you understand. I think I'll just cover it, then tomorrow we'll do something different. So here, so if let's say if the condition is true, right? Now we are saying that let's create a variable. So the variable is my passion should report to this. Now let's console the log. So let's console the log our passion console. So this is within the block, right? It's within the block that we declare this variable, my passion. So console the log my passion. So just see what's going to happen. Now it's going to print I love programming. So I love business too, I love entrepreneurship too, but then anything is solving problem. So you see programming. Let's clear this thing so that you understand. Let's clear the console. So to clear the console, you just right click on it. So let's do this. You see that it came out right. See that it worked out perfectly. So supposing we take this thing out, you understand that we want to, so this block function scope, right? It can only, the variable can only be accessed within the function. So supposing we take it out of the function, right? So let's cut it, right, and paste it outside here. Unlike global variable, you discover that it's not going to work. So here, so we are going to receive an error. Let's put okay. So you see the violation. Let's clear this thing so that you see, so you understand. So let's print it and see. Okay, so let's use left constant, right? Because That's what we use for this. So print it. Wow, it worked. Okay, it works. But then function scope is supposed to work within that block of code, right? That function that which it was declared. Um, so let me quickly take a look at this again. So if you write console log more passion. So I think this is what is supposed to give us here. Let me see. So is this line is supposed to give us like handler tag this error when you we project this what is supposed to give us. If you okay, I think it has started working now. Well, let's see. Okay, so that's the about function um scope. Then block, it's just same thing, right? So like a variable is accessed within a block of code. So that's that. Then we will look at um comparison operators, right? So let's clear this. So comparison operators. So in JavaScript, comparison operators, there are things like greater than or equal to. So basically, greater than, less than, greater than, equal to, greater than or equal to. Then so there are a lot of them, right? So I think I also want you to just go check it out like yourself, right? So we have comparison operators, we have arithmetic operators. So basically, arithmetic operators, um they are operands, right? So there are values that are used in specific, like um performing arithmetic operands in JavaScript. So like there are plus, minus, equal to, exponential, modulus, and all. So I think you should just look at that. Um, then the last thing I would want us to look at is, so I think the last two things, I think we'll go to control statements, right? So like if a statement, so we'll just write some interesting program before we call it a day because it's almost 12 o'clock. I'm feeling exhausted already. So guys, so on this last chapter, we are going to be looking at conditional statement, right? So we are going to be looking at conditional statements, and here we will build some amazing programs, right? So what are conditional statements? So conditional statement in JavaScript, so they are used to execute a block of code based on a certain condition, right? And in JavaScript, we have three types of conditional statements. We have the if statement, the else if statement, and the else statement. So without further ado, let's just dive deep into it and see what this can what this can do and how to apply it, right? So like this, yeah, example of if statement. So we are saying that if a condition happens, right, let a particular thing happen, or let a thing happen if a particular condition is met. So for example, we say if, right, if a condition is true, right, then something should happen. So what is that thing that should happen? So it may be, should you, so you should console the log and answer, log and answer, right? We are doing great so far. So here, so this condition, if this condition is met, right, that's what we want it to do. But if it isn't met, then it's not going to print anything. So let's console the log answer and see. So let's open our console and let's do this. Okay, let's copy this into, let's copy this here. So I want it to be full screen. Good. Awesome. So here, let's copy this. So you see if your condition is true, you should console log this one. So you see we are doing great so far. So it just shows that our code is working. So that's what conditional statement is. So we can dive even further, right? We can dive like more further in if statements. So let's say we write a code that tells a child if he's an eligible voter, for instance, let's say Nigeria. So in Nigeria constitution, you must be 18, right? For you to vote, right? So let's write a code that will tell a student if they can vote or if they're eligible to vote or not. So you see if, so let's create a variable which is age, right? So let's say age equal to what? 18, right? Right, then our condition. So this is the condition. So we say if, so if block, right? If let age equal 18, age because, so you can say if age age is greater than or equal to, right? Is greater than or equal to 18. Greater than or equal to 18. Then we want to console log, right? Console dot log you are an eligible voter. So S, right? We'll console the log. So let's console dot log. So let's the console dot log log you uh, uh signature. So so let's try this and see. So you see that it work here. You are ineligible voter. Why? Because the age is 18. So let's put the age as 20. You see that you are an eligible voter here. Right? Well, what if the age is now 10? The age is now 10. So you see you're not a teenager, right? So basically now if this condition is met, so the program will check this condition that the child is actually greater than 18, right? If it's greater than 18, it prints the first condition. But if it's less than, otherwise, if it less is less than the other condition, no, the other age, right? So if it's less than 18, then you're a teenager. So let's dive into it like a more practical way, right? So this is the syntax. So so the problem with this kind of code is that it's not sufficient in real life, right? Because what if the child is not just like a teenager, like the child is 10, so it's not even a teenager yet, it's just a minor. So what if the child is like 16, 17, right? So that's when the else if statement comes in. So let me just show you the syntax, right? So you can print different conditions based on the value of the age, the voter's age. So let's just write this again, right? So let's use, okay, let voters age, let's voters, let voters age equals 18, right? So that is agreement. You understand that for Nigeria, that's it, right? So let's write our if. So that's where the if statement come, right? So if else block, right? So we click on this. Now what it does is that if a statement is met, do the else. If a statement is if a condition is met, you understand, execute the code, else execute the other code, right? If it's not met, then the if else is if a condition is met, if this condition is not met, don't execute it, check if the other condition is met, right? So here now we are going to say if voters age, that age is greater than or equal to is this is greater than or equal to 18. So we'll console log. So you are an eligible voter. You are an eligible voter. So here, so this is what we're going to console log, right? I'll console log this. Eligible voter, right? So this are for adults. S console log console log you you are a minor a minor with your civic education, right? So this is a string, so we'll put it in brackets, right? Yeah, we'll end this. What if now, so this is the thing, right? So just think about this quickly. What if the child is 16, right, or is 17? It's not up to 18 yet, but then you know that it's almost at the verge of election, right? So here we can print another condition, right? So this way S if comes in. Now you can see S if. So this is where this one ended, right? So we'll take it down. So you can see S if, right? So S if, so the syntax is normal, the function, then the parameters rather, then function. So basically this is the syntax, right? So here, come on. So that's the syntax, right? So what if also when you say if voter's age, right, is greater than or equal to 16. So if the equator is greater than or equal to 16, so these are the range of children. So if a child is 16 years, now we want to print a different message, right? So we are not telling a child to read like his or her civil education anymore, because we assume that the child is almost legible, but then so we want to print a different message. So if this is the thing, so if the child is 17, 18, you understand, but then not 16, 17, but not yet 18, we want to print a different message, and then we can console log, and the message is console console.log you are almost legible. So get to know your leaders So this is the message we want to print, right? So we are not tell we are not telling them this, right? So let's see if this condition works, right? So um let's put a child's age to be 20 and see what is going to print. The voter's age to be 20. Let's play our console. So if age is 20, we get we got an error message. Okay, so there's an error here at least. So my console.log. So our S message, there's an error. So let's fix that before we continue. So let's see what is bringing the message, right? This console.log. So can someone tell me why there's an error? Okay, you're not supposed to put a comma here and here. So that should fix it. So this is the interesting part of like programming, right? You have to fix errors, right? So if you are programming, okay, it works now. So if you are programming and you don't see errors, then well, maybe logs on your side, but then I think you do something wrong, right? So often at times you are supposed to like get errors and you fix it. So because the age is greater than, so based on this condition now, right, let's go back. So because the age is greater than 20, you understand, we are printing you are an eligible voter. Hooray! So that's it, right? So let's change the age to maybe 98 and see. So here comma right there. Still not cause an error. So Michael order. So you see you're an eligible voter, so it works, right? So what if a child is maybe 14? So let's see the message is going to print. Child is 14. So you see, yeah, a minor with civic education, right? So basically, a child of 14 is supposed to know more about its country, like the art of patriotism, and how to be of value to society. So basically, at age 3 to um 15. So basically, that's what schools are supposed to teach, right? So that's it. So now, what if the child is 17, right? So it's going to print our else if statement. So let's here. So it's 17. So look at this printing this condition, this else if condition now, right? So like, oh, you're almost eligible. Get to know your leaders. So leaders is spelled wrong. So here we correct it. Then control the log. So get to know your leader. So hope you understand the condition. If you hope you understand conditional statement, right? So if you have any question, you can let me know. And yeah, so that's just it. If you want me to try another example, you can just tell me in the comment section. I'll try more example. But then it's not hard, right? So that's it. So let's comment all this out and let's try. So let's go to another um, control flow statement, right, which is called switch statement. So switch statements, they are used to to run a particular code if its value is met, right? So here is values, right? So let me just show us like how to use the switch statement. So yeah, let's let's comment this out. So here let me comment chosen star star hash. So yeah, good. Sorry. So let's comment this out. So we are doing switch statement, right? So we say conditional switch statements are conditional. They are type of conditional statements in JavaScript that is used to execute a block of code if a value based on like on the value, right? Based the value of an expression. So for instance, right? So they are used to execute. So in JavaScript, switch statements are used to execute a block of code based on the value of an expression. So let, let's cut down this story and talk code. So basically, but then it's important you understand it, right? So if you give the value, it's going to execute the code based on that value of expression. So we are going to look at maybe three examples so that will just give us a better understanding of it, right? So example number one. So this is, let's look at the syntax first. So to do switch, right? It's and so let's create our value. So let's say let value. So the value we want the condition to be based on equals to here. You put this right. So let's see what's your favorite number? 7. I don't know why 7 is just people's favorite number. So it's 7, right? So this will switch statement. So you start with the keyword switch, right? So switch. So this is the syntax, but this is the syntax. So switch, then the the value that you want to evaluate, then in curly brackets. Let's write that again. So switch. So switch to the value here, then the condition that I want to met. So here we look at like the cases here. So case. So whenever you're coding, one of the things you should look at is it's MH, right? It's very, very important because it saves you a lot of stress. So let's write, so switch here. So let's decide here. So here just about switch statement, right? So this is the syntax. So switch, then the key. So basically it's gonna be like the what you want to evaluate, right? Then the value. So we have different cases based on the value. So let's create a variable. So let's bring it down. So we'll say let our value equal to this. Right. So let's try number. Let's say 7. Let's say 7. So let's say 7. So type of, so we can use this, right, to we can use switch statement to determine like the type of value that it's stored here. So let's say to say type of value. So we'll console log console here console the log. So if it's so the console log number, so we can do like different cases, right? So number. So let's see if this case it's a number that we store here. So okay, let value equals number. So here it's suggesting. So let's see, since it's 7 is a number already. So here it's number. So so after this break, right? So we can determine different cases. So here you can go to different case. What if, so let's remove this. You know it's a number. So what if it's something else repeating that value? So let's put different cases, right? So let's say if this is a string. So if the case is a string, right? So console log string, right? So what if it's a boolean? The console log boolean. The console log boolean. So, but if it's something else, so our default break will console log. Console log order. So let's try to add data. So we can use this now to know the type of data that is stored in our value. So with this code, so for instance, we try like 7 or let's say 5, right? So here, let's check our console log. Now it's going to tell us if it's a number, if it's a string, or if it's a boolean. Let's check here. Let's open live server, live server. Okay, let's see. Okay, or live server, open live server. So here, inspect. So it's telling us that it is order, right? And that's the number. Let's clear console and go back to this place. Okay, I now put the keys in this as a number. Okay, there we go. So let's console log. Let's see what's picking over there. Okay, here we go. Okay, let's put a string in there. Let's see what is happening. So let's put a string. Okay. Where is the console log hiding? So there's something wrong with the code, right? So let's find out and fix it. So we started with let our value equals to, so it's empty here. So let's see. So we use switch statement, so type of value. So then we start doing this. So number, if it's a number, equals to log number 1 equal 5 is also one. So save type of string. Someone should just help me out. I don't know why this code won't work as expected. So as programmers, what we are supposed to do, we are supposed to solve problems, right? So let me see. Now, do not be afraid to ask questions. Do not be afraid to ask questions. So we have like, the good thing is that we being programmers at this our time is like, it's very easy, right? Because we have things to ask. So if it's not outputting the type of thing that we want, but I'm missing nonsense, nonsense. So you can just chat GTP it, right? So I think this it's in this code as an object. Let me see. Yeah, I think one. Okay, let's change this to like a number and see. It's not right. This is a console. So this is a console log keeps disappearing. Oh, it's okay. Wait, let me dock this thing. Let me dock this thing to. Because I don't like the fact that it keeps disappearing. So it's working now, right? So you see it's the number. So if we go back and try string. So basically it's seen it as an object. So because I put this thing here, that's why I put this thing here. So that's why it's the type of That's how it's showing order. So let's put the string. So Riches Onaji. Onaji. So let's watch. So it's a string. So let's just copy this code here. But please, so whenever you are working and you don't find the answer, you can chat GTP it. There's nothing wrong with that, right? It's that's why you're a programmer. If you find any way to just solve a solution, that's like the goal. You shouldn't feel that, oh, I'm not supposed to do this, I'm not supposed to do that. It's good to figure out things out yourself, but then if someone else has already figured it out for you, why not leverage on it and just work with that? So so let's use, so what if you say is true, get value equals true. So to tell us as a boolean. So so the order, right? So basically that's how to use it, right? So let's go, let's do like some more examples so you understand. So let's write a code, right? So let's write a code that will tell us like what day of the week it is. So basically, so let's clean this or let's comment this off. So it's this star. So comment this off. So use a switch statement, right? So let's get it here. So what if we write a code that will tell us what day it is today? So for instance, so let's say let's bring a switch keyword, right? So a switch. Oh, okay, let's create a variable. So let's create a variable. So let's just say like um today day name equals maybe a number, right? Because you have 7 days a week, right? So based on that number, it's going to tell us what the day is. So let's use a switch statement, right? So switch. So yeah, switch statement. So these are the value that we are going to be giving here. So we have the condition, right? So if let's see, if day name, the so our value is going to be day name, right? So if our value equals maybe one, we are going to console the log. So So we all know that we have 7 days in a week, right? So case one, if the name equals to 1 and the week starts from Sunday, so we are going to say it's Sunday. So that's case one. So we use break, right? So we are going to duplicate this in 7 places here. So if case two, it's going to be what, Monday, Monday. Case three is going to be Tuesday. So if the value is true, the day is going to be on Tuesday. Tuesday. So if the value is 4, is a Wednesday. Wednesday is a Wednesday. 4 is a Wednesday. So if the value is 5, the Thursday. Thursday. If the value is 6, is a Friday. And if the value is 7, the last day of the day, it's Friday. It's Saturday. Otherwise, if the value is 8, then day does not exist, right? So it's Saturday. So what if someone decides to not put it? So we use this, right? We say the name equal to today does not exist. But how can it be does not exist? So that's it, right? So let's console all these messages, right? So console log today is so what I just did is so today is plus so let's see if our code works. So what I just did here, right? It's called concatenation, right? So you can use plus or equal to sign to add two variables, right? So instead of me saying today is then plus, then using plus the name, right? You can use plus or equal to. So it's going to add this, right, result the name, right, to this variable, this string today is. So let me show you. So it's the same thing as like what you know, right? How to add like strings as as I showed you earlier. So let's check our console.log. Okay, an error. I think, let's see. I, I don't think we added selected it. I think two was what we selected the first time. So here four. So it's supposed to print. Oh yeah, let's change it to five. Let's see. So we'll just copy it. Let's just copy it and paste there because this thing is going to stress me now. So let's just copy. Let's copy this so that we can see it every time. In case there's any error, we can just put it here. Okay, so start from here. Start. So let's give this accesses. So introduction to JavaScript. So let's paste it here. Good. Okay. So apparently this is what is wrong, right? So console.log this thing. So here, okay. Now I see. So here plus equal to this. Okay. So I was trying to concatenate this, right? So today is plus plus Daniel. So let me show you. Okay, pretty so but that's also supposed to work, right? So today it's so basically this is like the method that we used to. That's why it's working now. So if we change the number to one, two, right? We print. So it's going to be showing today is Monday. So okay, you see, today is Thursday. So it's joined together. So to fix that, right? What you do is reduce space here. That should fix it. Okay, so close. Good. Plus. Then, so like we here is an empty string. So here's an empty string. This space is an empty string. Okay, so I give space here. I put an empty string here so that I give space. Then it fits the code. So guys, I hope you understand. So let's do a final example and call it a close. Let's we could look at other concepts, right? So what if you want to write a code that will tell the grade of a student, right? So for instance, a final year student, right, in maybe junior secondary school. Now, like, have you ever wondered how like grade their exams? So if a child scores over 90, it has an A1 also. So we can write a code that automatically tell a student the student's score and their performance, right? So it's pretty easy using this switch statement. So basically, we are write a program that will tell us that. So to do that, right? So we have to do research. We have to find like the grading system of white, right? So let's say a research white grading system. So let's see. So we know how we want to structure our code, okay? I think this should give us. So first off, we are going to research, right? So to know how we are going to structure our code. So it's the power of code, right? So here, okay. So A1 10 3. Okay. Let's see what range. Okay, so this what we want, right? So here, so if a child scores 75 to 85% A1, so 70 to 44% is B4, is B2. So good is 65 to 69%. So let's just write a code for this, right? So let's say each student grade. Let's go back to our. Okay, let's go back. So let's say student score. Let's student. So let's just uh, take all this out. Fine. So let's student score equals to 90. 90. So switch. So or let's use grade keyword instead. Let's student grade equals 90. So switch. So let's write our switch statement, right? So to switch, so student grade. So student grade. So here condition one. So this is the first case. So if we are going to copy this, right? If student case is so the value is 75. So let's look at it again. So 75 to 100%. So here 75. So it's greater than or equal to 75%. So it's going to be 75% or anything. So the highest being 100, right? So we will say student grade equals E1. Student grade equals A1. Excellent. Right? EX. So we are going to repeat this, right? So now we know the condition. So if student grade so is greater than or equal to 45, okay, 70 to 70, 70 to 44. Okay, so I think it's by 10. Let's go back. So it's to 75 to 70 to 45. So this is going to end here. So print B2, B2. So very good. So let's do this one. The condition if it is 65. So I think we'll not go back there. So 65 to 70. So it's good, right? So B3. B3. So it is good. So if student score is 60, to 64, so we have a C1. C1, which is credit. Credit. So if student score has a value of 40 to 50 to 55 to 59, 55 to 59, then have a C2. C2, which is credit still. So you have three categories of credit. So if a student have a student score has 50 to 50 to 54, so we have C4. C4. So here credit. I don't know if all of it's credit. It's still credit. Let me just confirm, right? to see that you're getting the grading system right. So here, let's go back to this side. Okay, okay, I think it's okay, it's correct. So 45 to 49. So this one they go down by 10%. So 45 to 49 is pass. Then okay, E8 and okay. So if a student scores 45, 45 to 45, 45 to 49. So you have child has a D, which is pass. So the reason why we are doing plenty, so is for you to just have like a good scope of how to use this, right? So you can use it in every day, your